I'd like to welcome you all here today as we look ahead to a new school year that will get started on Thursday, August 10th. The school board and I want you to know that student and staff safety is and will always be our top priority. I know the seriousness of keeping our students safe, and it takes all of us working together to make sure that our schools are safe and help our students achieve at the levels that we expect here in Seminole County Public Schools. As a reminder, I want our staff and families to know that Seminole County was the first in the state to model the concept of having our law enforcement embedded in our school safety division here within the school system. We work closely with our law enforcement partners from the Seminole County Sheriff's Office and the other municipalities to ensure that our school campuses remain safe places for our students and our staff. The partnership we have here is a layered, holistic approach to school safety, and this is built first and foremost on the foundation of partnerships. As partners in this important work, we collaborate to ensure that we connect those in need of support with the services, and also that we're providing families with assistance to address the student-related concerns that we're seeing. We have invested in additional mental health professionals and school social workers to address the rise in mental health issues that we've seen nationally, as well as here in our own county and in our public school system. Mental health professionals play an important role in making sure that for a school safety perspective, we're serving all of the needs of our students. We have them on our threat assessment teams. They're looking at a number of different ways that we can utilize the needed resources to address the particular behavioral issues. We continue to engage in joint training exercises with our teams and our law enforcement partners so that we are prepared for emergencies that are on our campuses in the event that we need to utilize the skills that we are learning. We appreciate and recognize the importance for all of us to be ready and prepared. I want to take this opportunity to talk to our families and our caregivers about the uptick in aggressive behaviors and careless behaviors that we've seen on our campuses. These behaviors cannot continue and will not be tolerated. During the first weeks of school, our students will be taught the behavioral expectations that we expect on our campuses. And then we want to make sure that all of us are working to reinforce those expectations. That's parents, that's students, that's teachers, all working together. It is important that our parents help us by speaking with their children about acceptable behaviors in our classrooms. It will take all of us, again, to make sure that, for example, the new rules on cell phones are reinforced in the classrooms. Protecting instructional time means that all of our students will be able to grow academically and achieve their potential. So during instructional time, cell phones will be silenced and put away as designated by the teachers unless it is explicitly allowed by those teachers for educational purposes. We are all accountable for making sure that this happens, and I am confident that we will do so. Now I would like to introduce our partner in this work, Sheriff Dennis Lemma.
Thank you so much, Superintendent. We appreciate your leadership, your collaboration, not only with us here at the Seminole County Sheriff's Office, but all policing agencies throughout Seminole County. We want to thank our great school boards for this unique partnership. And like the superintendent said, we were not only the first, I still think that we are the only county in the state of Florida that has a dedicated sheriff's captain or sheriff's administrator that is designated to oversee school safety and security for the school district. So thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for entrusting us And this it's an exciting time for families, kids and parents as we kind of get back to school year, get back to that normal schedule of academic success here in Seminole County. But again, there's a lot of things that we have going on here that we should be incredibly proud of in Seminole County that extend beyond the assignment of a captain overseeing that process. You know, we're embracing technology and leveraging those relationships. Still, we were the first county in the state to use this unique partnership with Mutual Link. It first started with a rave safety panic app that was available to school teachers, faculty, and staff on campus that would not only alert fellow people on that school campus if there was an emergency, but what it also did was it communicated directly with our communication center at the sheriff's office. And that process, again, through a partnership with Mutual Link, gave us access to cameras and audio systems. So if there were, God forbid, a threat situation on campus that we needed to respond to and respond to quickly, we got unique information based upon this relationship we have in embracing technology. We also, in the past couple of years with the superintendent's assistance, expanded our education and awareness effort for school administrators. And just like families and students that are coming back to schools, in some cases, people are promoted within the school system. They may become an assistant principal, a dean of students, a new principal for a campus. So for the last couple of years, we've had an orientation process here at the sheriff's office where we allow school administrators come behind the scenes and actually see how our real-time crime center works. Should we receive a threat? Should it be something that was a social media feed or something like that? So it's a 4 or 8 hour orientation for those school partners at the executive level on each of these campuses to kind of see behind the scenes how our domestic security division handles those calls and how we respond to that. And I think that everyone walks away incredibly surprised that when those threats come in, we are operating 24 hours, 7 days a week. People are going out to the home, doing research on past criminal histories, past complaints that may occur in the area. So again, connecting the dots should that threat occur. And of course, when those things, inevitably it's some social media feed or somebody writes a message on a bathroom mirror or something like that, you'll always see the superintendent or I standing before you as family members and loved ones and students, keeping you informed of the best possible strategy and what you should do in that case. When we not only have this relationship with our school principals and school workers, but we also have this partnership with our school crossing guards that happen to work for the sheriff's office under our umbrella. So we have a lot of guards that are out there that are excited to start the school year again. There's 192 of them actually spread around the 69 campuses throughout Seminole County, and they do incredible work. A lot to be proud of when they were doing a state designation for School Crossing Guard of the Year. The team here in Seminole County won that statewide award 6 out of the 8 times that they actually offered it. So a lot to be proud of there. I want to remind folks that crossing guards are not there to actually direct traffic and stop traffic, but what they do is they look for windows of opportunity to safely cross kids and parents as they're getting back and forth to school. In addition to that, they're extra eyes and ears to work with our deputies assigned and police officers assigned to those unique geographic areas of responsibility in and around the school. It's kind of embracing that concept of see something, say something, which we want to remind the students and the parents and guardians of our kids to do that. If you see something, say something. But those school crossing guards also embrace that concept and philosophy and are a great resource out there in our communities. Anybody who's interested in working as a crossing guard, we want to encourage you to look at that. We do have some vacancies in that program. You can find more information about that by going to the Sheriff's Office website, www.seminolesheriff.org, or contacting our office at 407-665-6600. We're always interested and excited about taking on new members of our crossing guard program. The superintendent talked about it, and we saw a little bit of this last year, that unacceptable and illegal behavior is not going to be tolerated. And each year we stand before our citizens, our students, our family members, and say that should your child or student behave in this way, there's going to be consequences. And the last thing we need is to start off the school year with an arrest for committing a violation of Florida law, which is exactly what will happen. Last year we saw a couple of incidents where people were driving their vehicles recklessly in the parking lot of schools. We remember a couple of videos that went viral of spin-outs inside the parking lot and another student actually sitting on top of the car. These situations result in arrest. And the last thing we want somebody is a high school student thinking about going off to the university or going out into the workforce, having to struggle with the apprehension and arrest of a felony on the record. And that is probably the best scenario for that, because these actions could result in death and injury. And I think that that's kind of the message that we want to get out there is be safe, be kind to other individuals, other students, other faculty members and staff, and just start off that school year right. If there's acts of aggression on campus, whether they're captured on video or not, they will be met with swift consequences from the sheriff's office. If you're attacking people, if you're fighting and engaging in aggressive behavior, you're going to be arrested and you're going to face consequences for that. And largely, you're not going to go back to the school campus. So again, I think the message is pretty clear from the superintendent and myself that we want to encourage good, positive, effective behavior. And I think that's one of the most remarkable things about what the superintendent has done here is to increase the amount of mental health training and services that are available to our kids. We would love to divert people from that path, but sometimes we're not able to do it. So again, that's a good thing to communicate at home to your loved ones that are going to school this year. This year, we also have a new addition to our operation. The sheriff's office has used canines, not only the sheriff's office, but the policing profession has used canines in a variety of capacities. We've had canines come through our school safety division in the past. We have passive compassion canines that are assigned to a lot of the school campuses here in Seminole County, where largely it's younger kids, whether it's middle school or elementary school, where the deputy may have a canine assigned. But Deputy Sheriff Matthew Simonetti, who's been with us for 3 years, was actually assigned to our school resource division, has a new job with his new canine partner, Dragus. And this is incredibly unique for us because it's an addition to what we were able to do before. And Dragus is specifically trained to detect firearms. He alerts on any tobacco or combustible item or the gun oil or the manufacturing of that. So again, he has been trained specifically to do that. He is going to be in addition directly to the school safety division. So again, we're not having to borrow him from another section or division. And I know that this is something that the superintendent and I really wanted to do to kind of get out there. So he can walk around and do absolutely remarkable things. I hope he's not doing any of it back here behind the screen. But again, to get out there, to build a bond, build a relationship, and should the need arise, to be able to kind of detect firearms, not only firearms, but any ammunition or the chemical compounds that make up firearms. And you can see the benefit should school end at a particular day and we wanted to walk the campus smelling, school lockers or gym or any of those things. It's going to be an added benefit to that. So Deputy Simonetti, thank you for your continued commitment to this effort and for protecting our kids. Lastly, I'd like to round up just talking about our school resource deputies and officers throughout Seminole County. I think the number is close to 95 or so that we have assigned to the various school campuses across the school district. And I'll remind our viewers and our family members that before the state ever had a state mandate to have a professionally trained law enforcement officer or guardian on campus, Seminole County had already made the decision 5 years before that was ever put in place to make sure that what worked best for us is to have a professionally trained, dedicated law enforcement professional on every single public school campus. And what we've done is we've actually expanded that over the years. Once upon a time when we first started down this path, deputies and police officers would be assigned to campuses, but then if something happened requiring some type of enforcement activity, whether it's a truant or a involuntary admission under Florida's Baker Act or an arrest, the officer would actually leave campus to have to transport them to the receiving facility or correctional facility. That no longer is the case here in Seminole County. So when police officers and deputies are assigned to the campus, they stay on the campus all day long. And we have offsetted the ability to take care of those transportation with a whole extra group of floaters that are going back and forth floating. So when we say that there's a police officer or a deputy sheriff on every campus, it means from the morning bell and before to the closing bell and after, there's somebody there not only to provide safety and security, but I hope that you will look at them as an ambassador and an advocate for things that may be occurring in the community, situations that may be occurring at the bus stop. The police officers and deputies on the campuses are your friends. Please use them to their fullest ability. At the high schools, we actually increased the numbers to 2 dedicated, professionally trained police officers or deputies on campuses. They're always there as well. And you'll see floaters, whether they're supervisors, whether it's Dragus, our new canine partner, is going to go to the various campuses. And should there ever be a threat or a situation on a particular campus, you'll find that we will add more resources to that campus just to make sure that we're moving forward and we're doing all that we can. So as you start your new school year, I ask you to bring your patience. Traffic inevitably is going to be something that people are complaining about. They'll call the superintendent's office, they're going to call my office, and it's going to be a traffic jam in front of a lot of these school campuses for at least the first couple of weeks of school. Please bring your patients with you. Don't try to let your loved one out in the middle of the street and run across the street because you don't want to wait in line. Don't try to illegal park on the side of the roadway in front of people's homes that block their ability to get in and out of their driveway. I can say this because this is some of the things that we address each and every year. And then after a couple of weeks, where people understand and learn the flow of traffic, things will smooth out. We will have our deputies and our traffic units at the schools around the areas. The first day of school, you'll see us out there in full force. But again, take a deep breath, bring your patients with you. And again, thank you, Superintendent. Thank you for the partnership, the collaboration, always making sure that our most vulnerable, our kids, are held to the highest regard. And again, thank you for allowing us to be the only county in the state of Florida that has a member of the Sheriff's Office team handling your school security plan. It makes an incredible difference.